47, 48 does not take silicone here.
Yeah, there's nothing to leak out of this, so nobody needs to seal this.
Internal seal, right there. There's no need for silicone. Alex, TowRig gonna get you for it.
All right, fellas, so before we get too far and continue on into things, I feel like I need to catch you all up and kind of give you a little heads up on what's going on. As you see behind me here, we have the chassis from Ashy. That truck, as I've said before, it's a truck that had a cab fire burn up some of the electronics on the engine, but the engine itself was in pretty good shape. So the whole intention was it was a 24 valve truck. We're going to P-pump swap the truck. And that way we get rid of all the electronics that were burnt up anyways. And then we were going to put a new cab on it. There's a few things, as you can see on the front here, like cab mount got burnt up pretty good. The bushings in the front of control arms, the spring is collapsed. But for the most part, the frame and everything is still in really good shape. The axles seem to be in good shape. Everything's pretty solid. It really just needed a cab. Also, the dually bed that was on it was virtually perfect shape. There was a couple small dents, but nothing from the fire damaged any of it. So our intentions were, like I said, just throw a new cab on it. We went through and got the engine refreshed, and we plan on putting it back together. So when we started in on this, we had found a truck that a guy was going to give us. He wanted us to pull the motor and transform, and we were going to get the roller. It was another second gen truck. It was 2-wheel drive, and we had planned on pulling the cab to throw on Ashy, and then we were going to get rid of the rest of the truck essentially, and should basically recoup some of the money, and we would have a full running driving truck for next to nothing. Well, when we got ready to get with the guy to pull the cab, he had changed his mind. So we were back on the hunt for a cab. If you recall, the white truck that we've got that we're working on right now, it's the white 07 crew cab truck. The boys that we bought that one from, they're from I don't know, a couple counties over next to us. Boys we've known for a while. I reached out to them to try to find a cab, and we found one. As you saw yesterday, we went and picked one up, but it actually ended up being a little bit more than what we intended. So as you can see here, this is what we ended up with. This truck is a 96, I believe is what they said it was. We got to get straight with the title and whatnot. But this one here, our buddy Clint, he had at one time, it was a daily driver, and then it got turned into a semi-race truck. And then the motor and all got pulled out and put into a single cab truck. So this one's just been sitting, and we went to look at the cab because like I said, the intentions was just to take this cab, put on that chassis, and let it ride. But when we got there, we saw that he still had the axles. As you see, it's got cow tracks on it already. It's got the big old Dana 80 in the rear. The truck is, as you see, a dually. Anyways, it's a complete truck. There's a few interior pieces missing. We'll get to that later. But a complete truck minus the motor and transmission, pretty much. The hood, as you see, is under here. It does have a hood stack on it at the moment, but we're going to be getting rid of that. But anyways, complete truck. So now the game plan has kind of changed a little bit. Instead of throwing everything back in Ashy, we are essentially taking the heart of Ashy and putting it in here. There's some parts we're going to take from the chassis probably. There's a little bit of swapping around, but this will be the new Ashy. Like I said, it's already got interior. It's got a full body. Everything's already there. We literally drop a motor and trans in it. It would be ready to drive. But of course, we got to do our little spin on things, make it look nice, presentable, make it match the rest of the fleet around here with everything being clean. So it's going to take a little bit longer than just slapping it together. But it's going to be pretty nifty, pretty sweet little truck when it's done. Right now, we are on the hunt. As you see, it's just got some steel 16 by 10s, I think is what's on it. We are trying to find, if any of you guys know, of a set of dually weld velocity wheels. It's the same wheels that I run on the dad bod. We've got a set for Nathan's drag racing setup. It's a set like we just put on Alex's truck. I've got a set of 22s for the white truck. We really need a set of dually wheels for this one so that all of them will match. So if you guys have a lead on any of those, please let us know. But anyways, that pretty much catches you up to where we are on all the projects right now and what's going on with Ashy and why we went and picked this truck up yesterday. So anyways, we are going to get to cleaning this thing up and getting it all prepped up. The motor is in the shop, as you saw in some of the other videos, and we're going to get this thing ready to throw a motor back in it. All right, everybody, so gonna try to sum up everything real quick. I fell behind a little further than what I realized on the video making, so a lot has taken place since the last video. I'm pretty sure the last video was when we finished up Alex's truck and it got out of the shop and we went to the truck pool. So since then, we began the tear down on Ashy. As you saw, we pulled the motor and trans out of it, and the trans is still on the floor in the shop here. The motor we took to the boys at KDD. They took care of the machine work. And as you can see, it's back on the floor in the shop here. We did run into a few small issues, like we got a total engine seal and gasket kit, and it was missing some of the things that it was supposed to have. So assembly's been a little bit slow. Also, the rod bearings were on back order, so we're waiting on them to come in. We did end up finding a set of rod bearings though. Shout out to Josh McCormick, Wide Open Throttle Motorsports and Horse Torques Diesel on YouTube. Be sure to check him out. But he came in clutch, had a set of the rod bearings we needed, so those are on the way. Surprisingly, the motor didn't look that bad. For everything it had been through, I think it had like 180,000 miles on the truck. It actually didn't look too terrible, so it didn't take a whole lot to clean it up and get it ready for reassembly. Also, as you saw, we were working on the motor for the white truck. We got it torn down. It's ready to go over to see the boys at KDD. Let them go through, machine that one, and we're going to reassemble it. Not exactly sure on the route we're going to go with some of that stuff yet, so we're kind of going to play it by ear. But as you can see, last night we got the motor washed, cleaned up, put some stuff on it to keep it from rusting up until, I don't know, a couple weeks when we take it to those boys. And then, as you can see, last night Bradley came over. That's the carpet out of the white truck. So we found a driver's license that was in that truck. The truck was originally from California, I guess. The driver's license was from 08. The truck is a 07, so kind of makes sense. Came from California, I guess. But at some point, it trickled down, ended up here in North Carolina, and it was a work truck at a sawmill. And I don't think from 08 until now the interior was ever cleaned. So the carpet looked absolutely trashed. But last night, Bradley spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours just cleaning the carpet. And it turned out really, really good. As you saw a second ago, it's still upside down. I got it over there drying. But when we flip it over and it's all dried up, we put it back in the truck. I'll be sure to show a clip. It turned out amazing. There's still a few small stains, but it turned out pretty good. Also, when I was at work a couple days last week, Tim and the boys up at TRE finished up the transmission for Parker's truck, which was the blue 06 we had in here. Nathan got the trans through back in that. And Parker already got his break-in miles on it, brought it back up here. We serviced it, adjusted the bands. Then the next day, he put it on the infamous KDD burnout pad and let it eat for a few seconds. And sounds pretty wicked. I'm ready to see what it does for him out at Truck Wars, but glad that one's doing good. We had another trans. We had to go see the boys up at TRE this week and go drop off for them to build for another guy. So these things are rolling through. If we can do anything to help you guys out with your transmission needs, be sure to hit us up, and we'll do whatever we can, help point you in the right direction. But anyways, I think that's going to pretty much sum us up for the week. I'm unsure. I can't remember what all went on. We had a lot going on. As you can see over here, the lift, we did spend the afternoon working on putting it together. We have to drill for the feet and get it mounted down and the post leveled, and then hook the motor up on it and pull everything tight and adjust it. And we should be good to go on being able to use our lift, finally. As you can see here, we did a little bit of burnout and she busted the concrete up a little bit. So that's a little disheartening. But anyways, sorry if it seems a little bit rushed. I know it's still gonna be a little wordy because like I said, so much has gone on over the last week. I'm sure as I start putting the video together, I'll see some stuff I missed. But anyways, that pretty much sums us up. Not a whole lot of action, but just trying to get stuff ready around here. Diesel Truck Wars is a couple weeks out, so I'm sure a bunch of you guys will be there. So anyways, get out in the shop, get your stuff ready. Truck Wars is a couple weeks out, and come see us again next time. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see y'all later.